Good morning, trade pros. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are having a great day. I certainly am. Ooh, my shirt's glowing. It's like I didn't notice that. I probably should have ironed it. Hope you guys are having a great day. Morning, Bradley, Angela Lee. Hey, hey, Hua. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone here on the morning market update. Today we have a shorter morning market update, if you will, but we do have stuff to talk about nonetheless. It's a usual news cycle pushing things around the market. Um, there is no coronavirus update today. The update is it's gotten a little bit worse, but I think that the market's kind of learning to live with this. And it's one of these situations that as it gets worse, the market's going to react, but it needs to get progressively or exponentially worse. It's like knowing a friend that isn't going to come over and they don't end up showing up. They say, no, I'm not going to come over today at 7 p.m. like I was supposed to. 7 around and they don't show up. You expected that. All right. But now if they keep flopping or bailing on other events, now it becomes more of a problem. So we need an escalatingly more bad situation for the market to sell off. And it's a good thing that we're not getting that. US dollar is down this morning and risk on assets are pumping higher. NASDAQ's at fresh all-time highs overnight. S&P 500 is not yet, but we're about exactly a point away at the moment from the prior all-time high of 74.5 on yesterday's session. All right. Let's talk about a few things. Jerome Powell yesterday testified in front of the House Financial Services Committee. Today he's testifying in front of Congress. Just so you know, it happens at 10 a.m. The first part, like the first 20 minutes or so, is he reads out a prepared statement and a remark, and you can actually get that online. So it's been released. There's no information that's new in that prepared remark. But what does happen afterwards is there's going to be a series of questions asked by congressmen and women, and they are going to ask some questions about the economy. All right. Yesterday's Q&A in the House Financial Services Committee came out with pretty much nothing new. Jerome Powell's really settled into his role and knows how to say a lot, but say nothing. Basically, the takeaway from yesterday is the economy is in a very good place, and equities climbed on that view. And Jerome Powell also said the FOMC believes that the current stance of monetary policy will support continued economic growth. All right, which in itself is not a stance of anything. It's pretty much status quo. He also said a strong labor market and inflation returning to the committee's symmetric 2% objective. Okay, meaning that inflation is on track. Labor market's strong. We've already known that. So again, nothing new there. And he said as long as incoming information about the economy remains broadly consistent with this outlook, the current stance of monetary policy will likely remain appropriate. These are interesting sentence because what Jerome Powell is saying here is if information keeps incoming the way that it is, all right, inflation's ticking up slightly or moderately, and it's below the 2% target, labor market continues to be strong, then we're going to likely remain at this level. We're not going to cut rates or raise rates. But the interesting part about that is the word likely, because it's sort of like saying all these things and at the end being like, yeah, maybe it might happen. It's like it discredits everything you've kind of said. So the word likely in there is a little odd, to be honest with you. It will likely remain appropriate. It sounds like, to be 100% honest, the Fed doesn't really know where they're going either. They're waiting and they're being a little bit more reactive than proactive with their monetary policy, which is all fine and well. Jerome Powell also announced that they're going to be doing more repos until the second half of the year. And overnight lending is oversubscribed again. It continues to be oversubscribed, which means there's a shortage of liquidity. There's a shortage of US dollars going around, and the overnight lending and the repo facilities have been extended for that purpose. All right. And so it's interesting that the Fed still needs to inject liquidity on a short-term basis, and they're buying bonds as part of a QE4 package that is called not QE4. All right. So that's where we're at. I mean, nothing new, but kind of interesting. And today we're going to see if there is any new information. From 10:30 or so to about 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern time, you can expect to see some volatility if Jerome Powell says something off the cuff, which is becoming less and less likely these days. He's been doing very well as a speaker, to be honest with you. Very neutral, yet talks for a long time. Lyft is down 5.7% today, after hours yesterday, actually, with forecasts of continued losses. Under Armour is down 19%, giving weak guidance. Just a heads up, Under Armour is also under investigation for some potential accounting irregularities. That's all firms that are non-existent It all starts with accounting irregularities. You hear that term, you got to say, uh-oh. Western Union's down 5%, and that's that. Okay, markets overnight, Japan's up 0.7%, Hong Kong's up 0.9%, China's up 0.9%, and so is India. So markets in Asia up across the board about 1 percentage point. In Europe, markets have gains, but slightly less. London up 0.2, Paris up 0.3, Frankfurt's up 0.6%. So pretty decent gains in Europe as well. Overnight, the thing that's slumping some of this is production came out at minus 2.1%, industrial production. The expectation was minus 1.6, and the previous number was positive at 0.2. All right, so even though the low end of the forecast was minus 2.7 and we didn't quite hit it, minus 2.1 is a pretty bad number for industrial production, and that's in the Eurozone region, and it's down quite a bit. When you look at, sorry, that's not the Eurozone region. That was for Germany specifically. If you look at the Eurozone region, it's worse. It's minus 4.1% as a cumulative total for all the Eurozone economies versus minus 2.3 expected. So there was a negative number before. There was a more negative expectation, but this one stunk even more than expected. All right, and that's kind of the numbers that are weighing down some of the gains in Europe. But we're still positive. In the United States, Dow up 0.4%, S&P's up 0.3%, Nasdaq up 0.5% on to record highs. Okay, crude oil this morning is back above the $50 marker and a fair bit above it. We're trading 51.23 right now, opened up at the 51.12 area approximately, and the current day session low is all the way down at 49.95. So we're getting quite a bit of rally off of the overnight session and into this morning. We're carrying some bullish momentum. OPEC released their monthly report. I don't want to steal Boxy's limelight here, but the 2020 global oil demand forecast was revised lower. All right, and OPEC specifically mentioned China demand as one of the weakened criteria, down 200,000 barrels a day on Chinese demand. Also, oil production fell out of OPEC, and I think that's the area that excited the oil market this morning and in the overnight session, is that there's signs of production dropping as well to offset some of this weakened demand. And oil's been battered for so long, we need to take out some buy stops anyway. So a little bit of upside in the oil market this morning. It could continue throughout the day as well. Okay, gold is pretty much flat for the day, hanging around 1568. Bitcoin's up 5%, just over 10,000 again. This time it needs to hold that marker. All right, it's been oscillating above and below 10,000 for a while. Okay. This morning we have 10 a.m. Powell's going to testify, and then we also have Atlanta Fed's business inflation expectations, and 10:30 the all-exciting oil inventory number. Okay, I love to trade this report. We love to trade it as a group. A lot of opportunity. In 1 hour of one day, you could make your whole weekly, sometimes even monthly income in just 1 hour of one freaking day. And this report comes out every single week. The thing I would have liked to see today is oil be near lows when this report comes out. That way, if it comes out even slightly bullish, we'd have a huge pop. Now I think some of that upside's been, the pressure's been relieved through the overnight session. So we're going to see, there's still going to be opportunity, but it would have been very ideal if we're hemmed near the lows and we got a nice production cut, nice draw on crude oil inventory. That would be a hallelujah miracle trade, but we ain't going to get it. Okay. At 1 p.m., we're going to have the results of a $27 billion 10-year note auction. 2 p.m., the Treasury budget, and pretty light day in news. Listen to the Newswire. Jerome Powell is going to be yapping pretty much from the mid-morning all the way to the late afternoon. Okay, that's what we got. Let me look at the comments real quick. As I said, they should just ask Powell if it's time to buy now. He's going to say buy. It's always time to buy. The Fed puts on. What did you take from your recent boot camp? Did you learn any new trading ideas? That's not for me. Jamie, you're my hero, man. Looks like you got a really cute daughter in that picture. You're my hero as a father. What is crude oil inventory number? Love your videos. Crude oil, Joshua, is the latest weekly update of petroleum production and whether there's a build or a draw. It's like an inventory. It's a look at how much supply and demand shaved off either the accumulation of storage or the decrease of storage of crude oil. And it's a great, great report for crude oil trading. Love oil day. Me too, Will. Do you do live trading? Like myself, Lisa? Of course, every day in the trading room. according through inverse linear regression analysis? Josh, you lost me, pal. But it's a good question. All right, YouTube, love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you tomorrow. We got to open up the trade room, start a little bit late. And I got to hand it over to Steven, our oil expert and desk manager, to take us through what he likes and what we got going for the day. And we'll kick it off. Take care, YouTube. Love you guys. Enjoy your day. Manage your risk, trade, trade pro. Peace out.